Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race Race and Strategy Guide. We're off to Mount Panaroma, better known as Bathurst, and we are in the Group 3 machinery. Now this is a little bit of a strange choice given we did this car and track combination only 5 weeks ago. I would have bet everything I owned that this would have been Group 4, and I actually prepared a full video Daily Race and Strategy Guide using Group 4 cars to go out this morning at 7:30, so when I seen it was Group 3, that was 2 hours of my day yesterday that I wasn't getting back. But anyway, we've got 10 laps to get round, tyrewear at ×4, fuel at ×2, we've got the soft and the medium tyres available. Both compounds are mandatory, so it is different in terms of settings compared to the last time. We've also had the update in 1.49, which means the tyrewear behaves differently as well. BOP is on, damage is light, it's a rolling start, and slipstream is on custom, which is maybe going to be a case of be careful what you ask for. I don't see any reason why we're not using real slipstream this week. It will remain to be seen just how powerful that is going to turn out to be. And for your settings allowed, we only have the brake balance, so no tuning in this one. So we jumped into the 8 o'clock race, and we chose to drive the trusty Genesis X, just a car I'm quite familiar with in Group 3, and this was the car that I used 5 weeks ago when we did this car and track combination. However, I had done no practice whatsoever in Group 3. I was quite familiar on how to get a Group 4 car around here after yesterday, so I decided just to pull aside and let everybody go through who had maybe done some qualifying laps. There was no point holding people up at the beginning of the race, and it's maybe going to prove to be a little bit of a mistake, as you're about to see. But anyway, getting on to the mountain straight for the first time, down in P16. A lot of the usual suspects that you see in the 8 o'clock race. In front of us, got Max Power, Tidgeney, Shelty's up there, and a few other familiar names as well. And coming into the uphill sector of the lap for the first time, just understeering here. The GTR in front of us having a little bit of trouble with the yellow flags out up ahead. So Bathurst tends to be chaos for the first day, even though we've only done it 5 weeks ago. A lot of people just kind of get unfamiliar with the track, and because of the nature of the track, the narrow nature of the track, and there's not really anywhere to go. If an accident unfolds in front of you, you can have incidents what are about to happen here. So the GTR kind of goes to go round the outside of the car in front of them. It's gone very slow, basically drives into the wall and gives us absolutely nowhere to go, and we get the joy of a 3-second penalty as well. So once we'd served that, we kind of got sailed into the race, and then this happened as well. We were kind of punted into the wall, and I was very close, as you're about to see, to just quit this one because I was kind of raging, having just picked up a 3-second penalty and then being punted into the wall. Yeah, but we decided, you know what, let's reverse out, let's just drive around. We can always just test the undercut strategy and get an idea and a feel for how long the soft tyres are going to last. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pit here at the end of lap 3 and check out that pit loss. Now also, as I always mention at Bathurst, be very careful on the pit entry, because it's very easy to end up in that tyre wall there and get reset back to the track and then have to do an additional lap. Definitely one just worth practicing to make sure you have your braking point down as you enter the pits. And if somebody happens to be right behind you when you're pitting as well, make sure you are clenching those buttocks, because it's very easy for you to brake on time, but for the car behind you to not brake on time and end up in that tyre wall. So let's just hope everybody gets up to speed as to where you're supposed to be braking when you enter the pits. On exiting the pits, be careful of the white line as well. It's very easy to just kind of not be paying too much attention and cross there, pick up a 3-second penalty. Overall, your pit loss is going to come in at 19 seconds, and fuel is going to be no issue whatsoever. So we're on to the soft tyres now. 7 laps to go. Let's see how these soft tyres are looking towards the end of the race, because there's not really a whole lot more to show you in this one. We managed to make the tyre survive. The pace actually wasn't too bad. From coming into the pits, we were 44.2 seconds off the lead. As we come to the end of the race, we're 46.5, so our pace was there and thereabouts. We had the pace for a pretty decent result. You're going to see that Max Power and Tidgeney are way ahead of everybody else, so possibly a podium was on the cards without the problems that we ran into, but the tyre survived. They obviously dropped off with the way the tyrewear model works, as we would like to see, but it is possible to do an undercut strategy of 3 laps on the mediums and 7 laps on the soft tyres. But let's just discuss those strategy options. I would have loved to have gone again I just didn't have the time to do another race, and I need to get these videos out as soon as possible, to be pretty honest with you, on a Monday morning. It's just the unfortunate nature of YouTube that the early bird does get the worm when it comes to these things. Now, the footage in the background is from the Group 4 testing that I did there, and I actually think this race would have been better as a Group 4 race, but as it is Group 3 again. But let's talk about those strategies and how I think this one is going to play out, and why I think it's going to actually turn out to be a very good week of racing, even though it is a repeat kart and track combination from only 5 weeks ago. So in terms of strategy, your optimal strategy is pretty much to split the tyres down the middle, 5 soft, 5 medium, or 5 medium, 5 soft. There is the option to kind of go a little bit earlier or even a little bit later. The medium tyres are quite competitive up against the soft tyres, maybe only about 7 or 8 tenths of a second a lap slower, because a lot of this track, even though it's a 2-minute lap, is at full throttle. And then obviously the soft tyres will start to lose a little bit of performance as the laps go down, so that equalisation of the tyres can happen fairly quickly. In terms of undercut strategy, you can do basically what we did there. We did 3 medium, 7 soft. Depending on the car, certain cars out there might be capable of doing 2 medium and 8 soft tyre on the soft tyres. Obviously your soft tyres are going to be pretty rubbish towards the end, but in terms of getting the undercut, getting the jump on the traffic, avoiding the chaos, is definitely something to bear in mind. So even though this is a repeat combo from just 5 weeks ago, the fact we've got multiple tyre compounds in there, we've got update 1.49 that brought the changes to the tyrewear model, should make this a much more interesting fair. You're going to have people finishing on different tyre compounds, you're going to have people with different tyre lives towards the end of the race, and that's how you keep racing exciting for the full 20 minutes. The big problem before update 1.49 is that everybody was pretty much in the same car, with the same tyre life, on the same tyres, on the same strategy. And that just makes for boring racing. This one should feel very much like an old school GT Sport Dealer SC back in the heyday of sport mode, if you ask me. But that remains to be seen. The one thing I'm not a big fan of is the addition of the custom slipstream. I'd actually seen a couple of examples in the race that I did that it appears to be very, very strong indeed. I don't see any reason why we're not using real here. It could lead to some chaos into the chase. But yeah, that's all I've got for you on this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye now.